All right, Shalom Yasha'Allah, back with another GMS on the go. This is the Raleigh, North Carolina camp. I'm Brother Nakam.
Brother Ara.
And again, this is the Raleigh, North Carolina camp.
Speak up.
Before we go any further, I'd like to give all honor, all glory, and all praises to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son,
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash.
Next up, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone from teaching us this truth according to the Bible who rule well, and a double shalom to all the sincere Akim throughout the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and righteousness and sincerity to the best of your ability. You know, me and the brother Ara was able to get up today, and we're just going to get into a quick hit, you know, on Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3, you know.
You ready for it?
Kind.
Isaiah 1 and 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib.
That's right. And an ox and an ass is an animal, you know, and two of the most dumbest animals upon the face of the earth, they know their owner and their master's crib. You see, an ox and an ass, they know where they sleep at. They know who feeds them, who takes care of them. You know, they know who bathes them. So two of the most dumbest animals upon the face of the earth, they know their master and their master's crib.
It says, but Israel doeth not know.
But Israel, which Israel is what? A people before a place, which consists of you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans. And what do you so-called Negroes, Latino Americans not know? You don't know who your power is. You don't know who your God is. You see, you got the majority of our people thinking that their God is Allah, Buddha, the Hindu goddess Shiva, Santa Maria, Haile Selassie, Baphomet, Jesus Christ, when those are all false gods who are no gods. You know, the true and living God is who? The names of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Our people don't know where they come from. They still thinking they're from Africa. We're from Jerusalem, Israel. You see, our people don't know who their enemy is.
Our people don't know who they are.
That's right.
You know, I'm going to bring this out. I know you want to make this a quick hitter, but I want to bring this out. Deuteronomy 7 and 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So holy means separate. You know, the Lord chose the nation of Israel, like the brothers going into. Israel is a people before it's a place. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you are the greatest people on the face of the earth. So when you know that your power is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, who the world ignorantly called God and Jesus. You have to know those things, you know, in order to consider. All right, but just wanted to go back and just to add, above all nations. So we're better than these other nations that you see around you. So-called white man, doodle-eating Africans, because we're not African. You know, die-hate East Indians, Japanese, Chinese. We're better than all these nations, man. All right?
That's right.
So going back to Isaiah 1 and 3, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel doeth not know.
That's right. So our people don't know who they are. And, you know, and that's not the bad part about it. What's the bad part, brother?
My people doeth not consider.
That's the bad part. You see, our people, 2/3 of the nation of Israel, the majority of our people, they're not considering these things. You see, they're not considering that they're actually from Israel and not from Africa. They're not considering that the names of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is their power, their God. You see, they're not considering that they're actually the chosen people according to the Bible, and that the Bible's for them.
I got a definition of consider. It says, think carefully about something, typically before making a decision. So you said something beautiful through the Spirit. You know, we didn't know who we were, but the Lord gave us a spirit to consider, to ponder on those things. So when you see majority of our people walk by us with the big sign out, the plank that the Lord told us to put up, pursuant to Ezekiel 37th chapter, the Lord gave us a spirit to even just think about that, look at that sign, and consider before we make a decision whether or not we want to take heed. You know, again, man's going to the Lord, how then does a man understand his own way? So the Lord gave us a spirit to hearken. But like the brother said, the worst thing about it, our people don't even consider who they are. You know, it says, think about and be drawn toward. It says, regard, okay? I stretched out my hand, but no man regardeth. You know, our people don't even regard. So that's a beautiful statement you made through the Spirit. All right?
It's like, I was going to chime in real quick. You know, ultimately, the reason why our people don't consider these things is because, you know, just roughly paraphrasing and going back to Hosea 4 and 6, our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
You want that?
You know, you can give me the beginner knowledge.
Yeah, you want Proverbs first? Okay.
Yep. Our people, they don't consider these things
Hosea.
because they're destroyed for lack of knowledge. And the reason why people lack knowledge is because what? They don't fear Yahweh Shema Washah. Because if they fear Yahweh Shema Washah, they would have the beginning of knowledge, in which the brother's about to go into now.
Proverbs 1:7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge.
That's right. So the fear toward the Lord, Yahweh Shema Washah, equals what? The beginning of knowledge. And what knowledge they're talking about? That's talking about the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding these scriptures. You see, the reason why me and these brothers can open up this Bible and break down these scriptures the right way, some more than others, is because what? We have the fear of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Washah, stored upon us.
Right.
If you don't have the fear of the Lord upon you, you're not going to have the beginning of knowledge.
Right. It reads on, but fools despise wisdom and instruction.
Fools, which goes into meatball, blockhead, imbecile, jackass, dunce, nincompoop. You know, which goes into 2/3 of our people of the nation of Israel. They're fools. Why? Because they despise, they hate wisdom and instruction. And the wisdom and instruction that they hate is this knowledge. And that's exactly why they don't have the beginning of knowledge. That's why they don't have no understanding. That's why they lack understanding. Because they don't fear the names of Yahweh Shema Washah.
Con. Got that, Hosea?
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Hey, the people that the brothers went into earlier, pursuing the one, Isaiah 1:3. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. You notice that word "my" is possessive. Okay, because the children of Israel is the Lord's people, man, are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Going back to Proverbs 1:7, because they don't fear. You know, they don't fear the Lord. Okay, fear means to be afraid of something that can harm you and to give reverence and respect to. All right, so majority of our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge because what you don't know works against you. Read on.
It reads on, because thou hast rejected knowledge.
Because this is the reason why. Because they have what, brother?
Because thou hast rejected knowledge.
You don't consider. You don't ponder. You didn't take time to listen and see what this was about. Okay, you rejected Yahweh Shema Washah when he was stretching his hand out through his prophets. Read on.
I will also reject thee.
So the Lord is going to reject you. Now we're in evil times. You know, Jake happy now that Biden's in office, the new slave master's in office. So they think everything's getting ready to be sweet. You know, what does scripture say? Sudden destruction cometh when they seek peace, man. And I'm roughly paraphrasing. Okay, so the Lord's about to reject you because you didn't consider, you rejected him. Read on.
That thou shalt be no priest to me.
So you can't preach the truth to your neighbor. All right? Or for the men, you can't go out there and go out there on the highways and byways and preach. Because the Lord's calling the men of the nation of Israel. You know? Read on.
Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children.
Yep, so the Lord's going to forget you and your children. And that's a harsh rejection, which is rightfully so. Because you rejected Yahweh Shema Washah. You didn't want to fear the Lord. You know? You got anything else on that?
On this one? No.
All right, Khan. I'll give it back to you, brother.
Khan. You know, so that was pretty much about it, you know. Our people destroyed. You see, they don't consider who they are. And it's ultimately, again, because our people don't fear the Lord. They don't fear the names of Yahweh Shema Washah. And that's why our people are in the predicament that they're in. You know? So, Lord willing, the elect of the nation of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latino, and Americans, were edified. Before we go any further, we like to give all honor, all glory, and all praises to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son,
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash.
Next up, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, from teaching us the truth according to the Bible, and who rule well, and a double shalom to all the sincere Akim throughout the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and righteousness and sincerity to the best ability. Till next time, shalom.
Shalom.